My mom demanded I give my master bedroom to my unemployed sister. So I sold my house and bought a one-bedroom condo with zero guest space. Hi everyone! Today's story will blow your mind, but really quick, if you enjoy this content, hit that subscribe button. Channel's been a bit quiet lately, and your support keeps it all going. Let's jump in. Original post. I, 29M, need to get this off my chest because I'm about to do something that will probably nuke my relationship with my mother, 51F, and sister, 22F, but I've reached my breaking point. 3 years ago, I bought my first house. Nothing fancy, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath ranch in a decent neighborhood about 40 minutes from the city. I'd been saving since I was 19, working 2 jobs through college, and living like a monk afterward. While my friends were out partying, I was eating ramen and putting every spare dollar toward my down payment. The house represented everything I'd sacrificed for: stability, independence, and proof that I could make it on my own. My family situation has always been complicated. My father, Robert, passed away when I was 17. Since then, it's been me, my mother Patricia, and my younger sister Ashley. Dad's life insurance helped Mom keep our childhood home, but she's never been great with money. Ashley, 7 years younger than me, has always been the baby, coddled, protected, and frankly, enabled. When I bought my house, I made one mistake: I let them visit too often. What started as Sunday dinners became Mom dropping by unannounced, criticizing my furniture choices, and making comments about how I had so much space for just one person. Ashley would crash in my guest room after nights out with friends, sometimes for days at a time, treating my place like a free hotel. The situation exploded 2 weeks ago. Ashley graduated from college in May with a degree in communications and has been looking for the right opportunity ever since. Translation: she's been living at home, scrolling through Instagram, and occasionally applying for jobs that she deems worthy of her talents. Mom called me last Tuesday with what she presented as a reasonable request. "Michael," she said, using that tone that meant she'd already decided something, "Ashley needs a proper space to start her adult life. Your house has that beautiful master bedroom with the ensuite bathroom. You could easily move into one of the smaller rooms." I actually laughed, thinking she was joking. She wasn't. "You want me to give up my master bedroom? In my own house? That I pay for? Don't be selfish, Michael. Family helps family. You have 3 bedrooms and you're just one person. Ashley needs a good environment to launch her career. The master bedroom would give her the confidence she needs." The conversation devolved from there. Mom accused me of being materialistic, forgetting where I came from, and abandoning family values. She brought up how Dad would be disappointed in my selfishness, which was a particularly low blow. She ended with an ultimatum: either I make room for Ashley properly, or I'm showing my true colors as someone who doesn't care about family. I hung up and spent the next hour staring at my walls, thinking about every sacrifice I'd made for this house. Every overtime shift, every skipped vacation, every generic brand purchase to save those extra few dollars. Then I thought about Ashley's Instagram stories from last week, her 3rd vacation this year, funded by Mom's credit cards. That's when I made my decision. If having a house meant being treated like a free hotel and ATM machine, then I wouldn't have a house. The next morning, I called a realtor. Not to look for a new place initially, but to list mine. The market's hot in my area, and she assured me I could make a solid profit. Then I started looking at condos, specifically 1-bedroom condos. Nice ones, in secure buildings, with absolutely no space for guests. I found the perfect place within 3 days. A gorgeous 1-bedroom in a converted historic building downtown. Exposed brick, modern kitchen, rooftop terrace access, and, this is the key part, absolutely no guest space. The couch is a stylish love seat that doesn't convert to anything. There's no room for an air mattress. The building has a strict policy about overnight guests requiring registration and limiting stays to 3 nights per month. I put an offer in immediately and listed my house the same day. It sold in 4 days for $30,000 over asking. I didn't tell Mom or Ashley anything until the sale was final and my offer on the condo was accepted. Then I sent a group text. Sold my house. Bought a 1-bedroom condo downtown. Move-in date is next month. Wanted you both to know since you seemed so concerned about my living situation. This solves everyone's problems. I no longer have extra space to be selfish with. My phone exploded within minutes. Mom called 17 times in the first hour. Ashley sent a novel-length text about how I was ruining her life and destroying the family. Mom left voicemails oscillating between tears and rage, calling me vindictive, immature, and heartless. Here's the thing, I'm not trying to be vindictive. I'm trying to be free. 4 years, I've been the responsible one, the one who had his life together, the one who could be counted on for money, shelter, and solutions. But instead of being appreciated, I became an expectation. My success became their entitlement. The condo is perfect for me. It's closer to my job, in a neighborhood with great restaurants and coffee shops, and it's entirely mine in a way the house never was. The house always felt like it had strings attached, like my family saw it as partially theirs by virtue of DNA. This condo, it's bulletproof against manipulation. Mom has now involved my aunts, uncles, and cousins. I'm getting messages about family loyalty, about how success means nothing without family to share it with, about how I'm breaking my mother's heart. Ashley posted a vague story about when people show you who they really are, believe them, with a broken heart emoji. But here's what they don't understand. I'm not running from family. I'm running from exploitation. There's a difference between helping family in genuine need and being treated like a resource to be mined. Ashley could get a job, any job, while building her career. Mom could downsize her own house instead of trying to redistribute mine. The closing on both properties is in 2 weeks. I've already started packing, and I'm donating most of my furniture since the condo comes partially furnished. It feels like shedding weight I didn't know I was carrying. I know I'm burning bridges. I know family gatherings will be awkward if I'm even invited anymore. I know Mom might not forgive me for this. But for the first time in years, I feel like I can breathe. My new place will be my sanctuary, not a family crash pad. My success will be mine to enjoy, not an obligation to be parceled out to anyone who shares my DNA. Sometimes the only way to stop being taken advantage of is to remove the opportunity entirely. They wanted my space? Now I have no space to give. Problem solved. Update 1, 2 weeks later. The last 2 weeks have been absolutely insane, and I need to update everyone who's been following this situation. First, thank you to everyone who validated my decision. I was honestly expecting to get roasted for being petty, but the support has been overwhelming. For those who called me selfish, you're entitled to your opinion, but you clearly haven't dealt with family members who see you as a resource rather than a person. So, the closing happened on schedule. I'm officially a condo owner and no longer a homeowner. The move was surprisingly smooth, probably because I got rid of so much stuff. The moving company had everything done in 3 hours. The family situation, however, has escalated to levels I didn't anticipate. The day after my original post, Mom showed up at my house, well, former house, at 7 a.m. I was in the middle of packing my kitchen when she started pounding on the door. I let her in, mainly because I didn't want the neighbors to call the cops. She looked like she hadn't slept. Her eyes were red, and she was clutching her purse like a lifeline. Michael, we need to talk about this. You're making a huge mistake. I kept wrapping dishes in newspaper. The only mistake I made was letting you treat my house like a family property. We never, Michael, you're twisting everything. I just wanted Ashley to have a chance to succeed like you did. Then teach her to work for it like I did. That set her off. She launched into a tirade about how I had advantages Ashley didn't, how it was easier for men in the workplace, how I was naturally smarter, which is BS. Ashley is brilliant when she applies herself, and how family is supposed to support each other. Support doesn't mean giving up my master bedroom in my own house, Mom. Then she dropped the bomb. Your father would be ashamed of you. I stopped packing. Put down the plate I was wrapping. Looked her straight in the eye. Dad worked 2 jobs to provide for us. He taught me that a man takes care of his responsibilities. He never taught me to enable laziness or entitlement. If anyone would be ashamed, it would be of Ashley refusing to work and you encouraging it. She left after that, slamming the door so hard it rattled the windows. But that wasn't the end. 2 days later, Ashley showed up with her boyfriend, Tyler, a guy I'd met maybe twice. She was clearly using him as moral support or possibly physical intimidation, though Tyler looked about as comfortable as someone getting a root canal. You need to stop this, Ashley announced, like she had any authority over my life decisions. This is insane, Michael. You're selling your house over a bedroom. No, I corrected. I'm selling my house because you and Mom see it as yours to redistribute. There's a difference. I wasn't going to live there forever. How long then? 6 months? A year? 2 years? When exactly were you planning to get your life together? Tyler shifted uncomfortably. Ashley's face went red. I'm trying to find the right opportunity. You graduated 6 months ago. The right opportunity is the one that pays you money while you look for better opportunities. That's how careers work. She tried tears next. I'm your sister. Your only sister. Doesn't that mean anything to you? It means everything to me. which is why it hurts so much that you see me as a resource rather than a brother. Tyler actually spoke up then, quietly, "Maybe we should go, Ash." She rounded on him. "Whose side are you on?" "Nobody's side. This is family stuff. But your brother has a point about, getting a job." The look she gave him could have melted steel. They left shortly after, and from what I heard from my cousin, they broke up that same night. The extended family campaign intensified after that. My Aunt Linda called to tell me about family values. My Uncle Christopher sent a long email about the importance of generational wealth staying in the family, ironic, since I'm the first person in our family to actually build any wealth. My cousin Jennifer, who I actually like, texted me privately, "Good for you. Ashley's been spoiled forever. Stay strong." The most surprising reaction came from my mother's brother, Uncle Richard. He called me 3 days before closing. "Your mom asked me to talk sense into you," he started. And I'm calling to tell you that you're doing the right thing. Your mom and Ashley have been living in a fantasy world since your dad died. Patricia spends money like it's water, and Ashley thinks life owes her success without effort. You breaking the cycle might be the wake-up call they need. That meant more to me than I expected. Uncle Richard and I were never particularly close, but having someone from Mom's generation validate my decision felt like a weightlifting. The actual move-in day was anticlimactic. I hired movers, got everything into the condo in one shot, and spent my first night in my new place eating takeout on my new love seat, looking out at the city lights. The place is perfect. The kitchen is actually nicer than my house had, all high-end appliances and quartz countertops. The bathroom has a rain shower and heated floors. The building has a gym, a co-working space, and that rooftop terrace I mentioned. But the best part, the absolute best part, the peace. No one can drop by unannounced. You need a key fob to even enter the building. No one can crash here. There's literally nowhere to sleep except my bed. No one can guilt me about unused space because there is no unused space. Mom hasn't spoken to me since the confrontation at the house. Ashley posted some passive-aggressive quotes on Instagram about family disappointments and when blood isn't thicker than water. But here's the thing, I'm okay with it. For the first time in years, I'm living for myself, not for family expectations. My coworker James, who's been watching this drama unfold, said something that stuck with me: "You didn't burn the bridges, man. You just stopped being the bridge." He's right. I was the bridge between my family's expectations and reality. Now they'll have to figure out how to cross that gap themselves. Update 2, 1 month later. Things have taken some interesting turns since my last update, and I feel like I owe everyone who's been following this story some closure. First, life in the condo has been everything I hoped for. I've developed a routine that feels genuinely mine. Morning coffee on the rooftop terrace, walk to work, gym in the building after work, cooking in my perfect kitchen. I've joined the building's book club, yes, I'm officially that guy now, and made friends with my neighbors. There's something liberating about living in a space that's entirely yours with no room for anyone else's expectations. But let me get to what you're all here for, the family drama. 3 weeks after I moved in, I got a call from Ashley. Not Mom, which surprised me, but Ashley herself. She sounded different, tired, maybe defeated. "Can we talk?" she asked. "Like actually talk, not fight?" I agreed to meet her at a coffee shop downtown, public and neutral. She looked different when she walked in. The usual perfectly curated Instagram-ready outfit was replaced with jeans and a simple sweater. She looked tired but somehow more real than I'd seen her in years. "I got a job," she started, before even saying hello. "Reception at a marketing firm. It's not what I dreamed of, but it's a start." I was genuinely shocked. "That's great, Ash. Really?" Tyler breaking up with me was a wake-up call. He said something that night that stuck. He said I was 22 acting like I was 12, waiting for everyone else to figure out my life for me. We talked for 2 hours. Actually talked, not argued. She admitted that she'd been scared of failing, scared of not living up to the success she portrayed on social media, scared of being ordinary. Mom had always told her she was special, destined for greatness, and the pressure of that had paralyzed her. "When you sold your house," she said, stirring her third coffee, "Mom lost it. Like, completely lost it. She kept saying you'd abandoned us, that you were selfish, that family was supposed to stick together." "But Michael..." I realized she was mad because she'd been planning to move us both into your house eventually. That stopped me cold. "What?" "She's behind on her mortgage. Like, really behind. Has been for months. She figured if I moved in with you, she could sell the house, use the money to clear her debts, and then move into your spare room. She'd been planning it all for months without telling either of us. I felt sick. The manipulation ran deeper than I'd imagined. Ashley continued, when you sold the house, her whole plan collapsed. She's been scrambling, trying to figure out what to do. She's probably going to have to sell and downsize anyway, but now she can't pretend it's for any reason other than her own financial mismanagement. We sat in silence for a while after that. Finally, Ashley said, I'm sorry. For all of it. For treating your house like a hotel, for expecting you to solve my problems, for not seeing you as a person instead of just my successful older brother. You deserved better from us. It was the first real apology I'd ever received from her. She's been working at the marketing firm for 3 weeks now. She's living with a roommate she found on Facebook, a girl named Nicole who's also starting out in her career. They split a 2-bedroom apartment on the outskirts of town. It's not Instagram-worthy, but it's hers. Mom, on the other hand, has doubled down on her victim narrative. She's told anyone who will listen that I abandoned the family in their time of need. What she hasn't told them is that she's been living beyond her means for years, racking up credit card debt to maintain an image, refusing to downsize or budget. Uncle Richard called me last week with an update. Apparently, Mom had asked him for a loan to save the house. He refused and told her to sell it and get something she could actually afford. She called him heartless too. Seems to be her go-to accusation for anyone who won't enable her anymore. The plot twist came yesterday. Mom finally reached out, but not how I expected. She sent me a formal email, literally formal, like I was a business contact. Michael, I wanted to inform you that I will be listing the family home for sale next month. I've accepted a position as an assistant manager at a retail store, and I'll be moving to a smaller apartment closer to work. I thought you should know in case there are any items from the house you'd like to claim. Patricia. No apology. No acknowledgement of her role in all this. But also, no requests for money, no guilt trips, no manipulation. Just facts. I replied equally formally, thank you for letting me know. I wish you the best with your new position and living situation. Please let me know if there are any family heirlooms that need to be distributed. Michael. It's not reconciliation, but it's something. She's taking responsibility for her life, even if she won't admit her mistakes. The biggest surprise came from an unexpected source. Remember Tyler, Ashley's ex-boyfriend? He reached out to me on LinkedIn of all places. Sent me a message saying he respected how I handled everything and that breaking up with Ashley was the best thing for both of them. Apparently, she'd been using him as an emotional support system and ATM, and watching how she treated me opened his eyes. He's dating someone new now, a woman who has her own career and pays for her own dinners. As for me, I'm thriving. My condo feels more like home than my house ever did. I've started dating someone, a woman named Sarah who lives in my building. She's a graphic designer who owns her own 1-bedroom unit 2 floors up. She loves that I have boundaries with my family. It shows emotional maturity, she said on our 3rd date. Too many people let family walk all over them because of DNA. The house I sold. I drove by it last week out of curiosity. There's a young family living there now, 2 kids' bikes in the driveway, a swing set being installed in the backyard. It looks like a real family home, not a battleground for manipulation and guilt. I'm glad. Final update, 4 months later. I wasn't planning on updating again, but so many people have messaged asking for closure that I figured I'd share where everything landed. It's been 4 months since I sold my house and bought the condo. 4 months since I decided that protecting my peace was more important than maintaining toxic family dynamics. Here's where everyone is now. Let me start with Ashley because her transformation has been the most remarkable. She's been at the marketing firm for almost 4 months now and just got promoted from receptionist to marketing assistant. It's still entry-level, but she's actually working, learning, and growing. She sends me updates sometimes, not asking for anything, just sharing her progress. Last month, she texted me a photo of her first real paycheck after the promotion with the caption, "Took your advice. The right opportunity was the one that paid me while I looked for better ones. This is the better one." We meet for coffee every couple of weeks now. Our relationship is different, healthier. She doesn't see me as a safety net anymore, and I don't see her as a burden. We're just siblings figuring out adult life in our own ways. The conversation that really showed her growth happened last week. She mentioned she'd been saving up for a car, her old one that Mom bought her broke down. I reflexively started to offer to help with the down payment, but she stopped me. "No, Michael. I need to do this myself. That's the whole point, right? I can't learn to stand if everyone keeps carrying me." I was so proud of her in that moment. She gets it now. Mom's situation is more complicated. She sold the house 2 months ago. From what Uncle Richard told me, she cleared her debts with barely anything left over. She's living in a one-bedroom apartment now, working at the retail store. It's a massive downgrade from her previous lifestyle, but it's sustainable. We didn't speak for 3 months. Complete radio silence except for that formal email. Then, 2 weeks ago, she called. I almost didn't answer, but curiosity won. "Michael," she said, and her voice sounded older, tired. I wanted to tell you something. I waited. I've been seeing a therapist. The employee assistance program at work covers it. She's been helping me understand some things about myself. About how I've been living since your father died. This was unexpected. I'm not calling to apologize," she continued, "because I don't think I'm ready to do that properly yet. But I wanted you to know that I'm working on understanding why I did what I did. Why I felt entitled to your success. Why I couldn't see what I was doing to you and Ashley. It wasn't an apology, but it was acknowledgement. That's more than I ever expected. I appreciate you telling me that," I said. "I hope the therapy helps." We've texted a few times since then. Surface-level stuff. She asked about my job, I asked about hers. Baby steps, maybe, or maybe this is just what our relationship will be now. I'm okay with either. The extended family has mostly moved on to other drama. My cousin Jennifer told me that I'm old news now. Apparently, Aunt Linda's son was caught embezzling from his employer, so that's the new family scandal. I'm perfectly happy being forgotten. Uncle Richard and I have actually grown closer through all this. We meet for lunch once a month, and he's become something of a mentor. He told me recently that watching me stand up to Mom reminded him that he needed better boundaries with his own siblings. "You taught an old dog new tricks," he said. As for my living situation, the condo remains perfect. Sarah and I are still dating. It's been 3 months now, and it's going well. We respect each other's space and independence. She has her place, I have mine, and we choose to spend time together rather than defaulting to it. The building community has been amazing. The book club is discussing Boundaries by Cloud and Townsend this month. I swear I didn't suggest it, but the timing is perfect. I've made genuine friends here, people who knew nothing about me when we met, who like me for who I am, not what I can provide. Last week, something happened that perfectly encapsulated how much has changed. Ashley called me in a panic. Her car had finally died completely, and she needed to get to work. Old me would have immediately offered to buy her a car or give her mine. New me asked, "What's your plan?" "I was hoping you could loan me the money for an Uber. I'll pay you back on Friday when I get paid." I sent her $40 for the Uber. She paid me back on Friday, just like she promised. It was a small thing, but it showed respect, for boundaries, for money, for our relationship as adults. The house I sold. I saw on Instagram that the family who bought it posted photos from their kid's birthday party in the backyard. The place was full of children, laughter, and joy. It's what that house was meant for, a real family making memories, not a battlefield for emotional manipulation. I've been thinking a lot about what this whole experience taught me. Sometimes, protecting your peace requires radical action. Sometimes, the only way to save relationships is to fundamentally restructure them. And sometimes, the most loving thing you can do for enabling family members is to stop enabling them. My therapist, yes, I started seeing one too, this whole situation brought up a lot I needed to process, said something that resonated: you didn't abandon your family. You abandoned dysfunction. There's a difference. She's right. I'm still here for my family, but on terms that respect both them and me. Ashley can call me for advice or to celebrate victories, but not for bailouts. Mom can rebuild our relationship if she does the work, but not if she expects me to pretend the past didn't happen. For those who've been following this story and dealing with similar situations, here's what I've learned. 1. You can't save people who won't save themselves. 2. Boundaries aren't cruel. They're necessary for healthy relationships. 3. Sometimes the best thing you can do for someone is let them face consequences. 4. Family doesn't mean accepting exploitation. 5. Your success is not an obligation to subsidize others' poor choices. 6. It's okay to prioritize your peace over family harmony. 7. Real love respects boundaries. Manipulation doesn't. The one-bedroom condo that started as an escape has become something else, a symbol of my autonomy, sure, but also a filter. The people who matter have accepted it and adjusted. The ones who only saw me as a resource have fallen away. And that's exactly how it should be. I don't know if Mom and I will ever fully reconcile. I don't know if Ashley will continue on her growth trajectory. I don't know if the family will ever be normal again. But I do know this: I'm at peace. My home is mine. My life is mine. My success is mine to share as I choose, not as others demand. Sometimes burning bridges lights the way forward. And sometimes, when you stop being the bridge everyone walks on, they finally learn to build their own. That's my story. It's not a fairy tale ending, but it's real. It's honest. And for the first time in my adult life, it's truly mine. Thank you to everyone who followed along, offered advice, and shared their own stories. Knowing I wasn't alone in this made all the difference. Here's to boundaries, to peace, and to one-bedroom condos that can't accommodate anyone else's expectations.